Hi, beloveds. I hope you are enjoying this Bibliomancy experience as much as I am. And, I shared earlier that Bibliomancy has been a big, huge part of my life, and I'll be sharing with you this week's selections. But the first one I wanted to share with you is one of my all-time favorite books and really led me on this journey, actually, that I live now. And the other day I was having this thought of like, how am I supposed to make this work? Because being a spiritual entrepreneur, this isn't easy work. This takes bravery. This takes courage. When I quit my job as a librarian, that is another story that's connected to a book. But I don't want to get into that. But, and so of course there's times when I have highs and lows. And so whenever I have one of those moments, one of the books that I go to time and time again to remind me of what I said I wanted to do, to remind me to stay connected to my passion and my purpose, is none other than, drum roll, The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. And so the other day I was guided to page 99. See, when you're working in Bibliomancy, the page numbers come very quickly, and it doesn't always have to be in 99 and angel numbers like that. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4. It could be 56. Do you know what I'm saying? But let me share with you what I got. And of course I have the digital copy of The Alchemist. And I used to have actually a signed copy. I don't want to get into it right now, but I'll tell you another day. This is page 99. An alchemist, said the alchemist, and of course, I'm going to jump around a little bit. He understands the forces of nature, and he wants to show you his extraordinary powers. The boy listened quietly and fearfully. What is a foreigner doing here? Asked another of the men. He has brought money to give to your tribe, said the alchemist. Before the boy could say a word, and seizing the boy's bag, the alchemist gave the gold coins to the chief. The Arab accepted them without a word. There was enough to buy a lot of weapons. What is an alchemist? He finally asked. It is a man who understands nature and the world. If he wanted, he could destroy this camp with the force of the wind. The men laughed. They were used to ravages of war and knew that the wind could not deliver them a fatal blow. Yet each felt his heart beat a little bit faster. They were men of the desert, and they were fearful of sorcerers. I want to see him do it, the chief said. He needs 3 days. He's going to transform himself into the wind just to demonstrate his powers. If he can't do so, we humbly offer you our lives for the honor of your tribe. You can't offer me something that is already mine, said the chief arrogantly, but he granted the travelers their 3 days. The boy was shaking with fear, but the alchemist helped him out of the tent. Don't let them see that you're afraid. They are brave men, and they despise cowards. But before the boy could even speak, the boy couldn't even speak. He was only able to do so after they had walked to the center of the camp. There was no need to imprison them. The Arabs simply confiscated their horses. So once again, the world had demonstrated its many languages. The desert only moments ago had been endless and free, and now it is an impenetrable wall. You gave them everything I had, the boy said. Everything I've saved my entire life. Well, what good would it do you if you had to die? The alchemist answered. Your money saved us for 3 days. It's not often that money saves a person's life. But the boy was too frightened to listen to the words of wisdom. He had no idea how he was going to transform himself into the wind. He wasn't an alchemist. Don't give in to your fear, said the alchemist in a strangely gentle voice. If you do, you won't be able to hear your heart. If a person is living out of his personal legend, he knows everything he needs to know. There is only one thing that makes a dream impossible to achieve: fear of failure. But what if I can't? Then you'll die in the midst of trying to realize your personal legend. And then that's a lot better than millions of other people who never even knew what their personal legend was. But don't worry, the alchemist continued. Usually the threat of death makes people a lot more aware of their lives. So what part of that did you need to hear right now? That, beloveds, is the magic of bibliomancy. Until next time, happy reading.